Hi, everybody. Welcome to Stamping with Melva. I'm Melva Peters, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in British Columbia, Canada. And it's a bit of a snowy day here on the West Coast. So it's only December 12th, but we had some snow last week and then again overnight. So it was great. It's a great day to be in my craft room. I'm just checking to see that I am live. I actually can see that I'm live. That's perfect. And so today I wanted to show you how to make a gift bag out of designer series paper. So last month for my Creativity Abounds, I'm part of a group, there's 14 of us from around the world. We did a gift packaging tutorial and a blog hop. And so some of you would have received that tutorial bundle for placing an order with me. And so Lorraine Tierney, who is a demonstrator from the United States, made a little gift bag using 2 pieces of designer series paper that are 6 by 6. So today I'm going to show you how you can make that, but make it bigger. It's perfect for a box of chocolates, a puzzle, a book, something like that. So it's going to be bigger and fairly narrow, so you're not going to be able to get something wide in it. But the cool part about this gift bag is you can use pretty much any size. I would say 6 by 6 is the smallest size that you want to use of designer series paper. But you could go up from there. You could do 8 by 8, 10 by 10, 12 by 12. And the measurements are going to be the same. So you can make this to be whatever size that you want it to be. And so I think that's a really cool thing. Now I'm just seeing some comments, some people saying hello, and I can't see who they are. So let me just get in and see if I can see who's commenting. No, I can't. Okay. Oh my gosh, Austria. Welcome, Cornelia. My goodness. Thank you for joining me. I hope you take the time to subscribe to my YouTube channel. That's just so amazing. I love doing this, and I love the fact that I get people watching from all over the world. All right, so let me get started. I'm going to switch over to my desktop, and I will get started. All right, first of all, actually, let's take this out. This is the little gift bag that, Susan, that I made using the directions from Lorraine in the tutorial. So you can see this is quite small. If I bring in, for example, an ink pad, it's, roughly, a little bit smaller than an ink pad. And this was made from 2 pieces of designer series paper that were cut 6 by 6. Actually, in this case, this is the Tidings and Trimmings designer series paper that comes 6 by 6. These are just so adorable, and they're perfect for little gift bags if you've got jewelry to give, or they're also perfect for putting treats in and using as perhaps name tags on your holiday table or any party table. All right, so that's the 6 by 6, but I decided I was going to make it a little bigger. And so the measurements or the way you do this is exactly the same regardless of what size you want to do this. So I'm using, this is the Painted Christmas designer series paper. I don't actually have much holiday paper that I have 2 sheets exactly the same of left. So that's what I decided to use this one. All right, so what you're going to do, again, these are the same measurements regardless of the size of designer series paper that you're going to start with. Now, Lorraine's instruction says you could layer these 2 together and score them at the same time. I like to do them separately just because it gives me better score lines to be able to see. So what you're going to do is you're going to score this at 1.5 on all 3 sides, 1.5 inches on all 3 sides. And sorry, I don't know. I guess that's, oh, I cut it, rats. Okay, that's okay. I have to cut this anyway, so we'll just make sure that we use that. All right. Okay, so there we go. Thinking about centimeters, and so 1.5 is about 4 centimeters roughly. It's not quite. All right, so you're going to score this at 1.5 inches on 3 sides. Making sure I do that. Scoring, not cutting. All right, so that's mine at 1.5 inches. Now on the other side, the side that you didn't score, so for me that's this one, you're going to score at 3/4 of an inch. So that's there for me. So about 2 centimeters would work. All right, so I've got my 3 sides at 1.5 and my one side at 3/4 of an inch. Oopsie. Like that. There we go. Okay, so those are my 2 pieces of paper. Now I'm going to move my trimmer out of the way. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold. Now, one thing you will want to decide is which is going to be the outside of your bag. And so I think, let me see. I'm going to fold this and then we'll make a decision. All right, so the way it's going to work is if I fold this down, it's going to be like that. So this would be my outside, or like that. I think I'm going to have this being the outside and then this one being the top. So I'm going to fold on each of these score lines. So the reason I like to do one at a time is I just think I get a better score on them. Just makes it a little bit easier to see that score and to be able to score and to fold it. But personal preference. All right, so okay, so we've done that. Now I'm going to take this out. Bring my trimmer back in. Okay, so what we want to do is with this piece, the 3/4 of an inch on the top, you want to cut this, and this is why I wasn't too worried that I cut this instead of scored. You want to cut this, and you could do it with your trimmer or your paper snips. I'm going to actually do it with paper snips. So I'm just cutting on that score line from the edge, so on the side score line from the edge to that score. So you're going to end up with a little flap like that, and you're going to do that on both sides. Okay, so that's one of them. So you end up with a piece, if I get this up like that, that looks like that. Okay, so this has got the top 3/4 inch fold at the top, and at the bottom you've got these 2 flaps. Okay. So on the second one, let's take my trimmer out because I think I'm going to use my scissors. On the second one, now this again is, let's get this going the right way. This is going to be my top, right, like this. You're going to actually cut these off. So this is the score line 1.5 and the score line. So you're going to cut this little box out like this. So on one of them, you just cut one side of it to make a flap. And on the other piece, you cut out this box or this square in the corner like that. So you've got your piece. Sorry, my camera needs to go up a little bit, I think, but it's going to get blurry if I do that. So, all right, so you've got these 2 pieces cut out, and on this one, you've got these 2 that are flaps. Okay, now let's put this together. So now I want this to be, oopsie. Where did I decide this was going to go? I decided it was going to go like this. Okay, so we're going to fold this. Getting folded the right way. Okay, so you can see the box or the bag goes together fairly easily. All right, so I'm getting it folded all the right way so that I can, there we go. So this is going to fit together. So I've got, this is the bottom where I've got these are the flaps. And on this one, I've got those 2 squares cut out. So you're just going to fit these two together like this. And this will fold in like this. So that will be my bag. So it is, let's see. So it will be tall and slender. It's about, you know, say 1.5 inches wide. So again, it won't fit, you know, something huge, but it'll fit a book or a puzzle. So to put it together, I'm going to start with the bottom. So I'm going to put some tear and tape adhesive. I think I'm going to use tear and tape. You could use multi-purpose liquid glue, but I think the tear and tape adhesive just will be a little bit stronger. The other thing to remember about these bags is they're not going to be really strong. So you don't want to put something really heavy in it and then expect to, I'm going to use ribbon for the handles. You're not going to be able to carry, you know, that with something really heavy in it, because it just isn't made for that. It really is more decorative than it is something that you could, like a shopping bag. But who wouldn't want a Christmas present wrap like this? Okay, so I'm going to take and put this, align the bottom. When tear and tape makes it a little bit, if you use multi-purpose liquid glue, it will give you, it's a little more forgiving. So I'm just going to line this up with the bottom gently so that it doesn't stick on me. Oh, it really wants to stick. Okay, line it up with the bottom. There we go. Like that. So I've got my bottom in place. So I've got, this will be, that is the bottom now, like that. And now we're going to fold these flaps in. And you could miter the corners on your flaps if you wanted to, just to, so when I say miter, you just take a little bit of a kind of a triangular corner off these flaps, and it just takes some of the bulk out of it. So you do that on both sides. Oh, you can hear my dog. It's been snowing here, and I think she's barking at the snow. I'm not sure what's going on with her today. All right, so we're going to fold this up. And like this, fold those flaps, and then these edges will fold in on itself. So I'm just going to use tear and tape adhesive again on this edge. So tear and tape all the way down the edge like that. Open it up. And on the other side as well. I had an event yesterday, and I moved my camera around because of the event, and I'm kind of out of sorts here. Usually I stand when I do my videos, and today I'm sitting, and it just definitely kind of throws you off here. All right, so we're going to do one side. And then the other. Just get this backing off. Hold that flap in. And then fold this in. So lining up. If you just kind of line up your edge on that score line and fold it up on it, it just will come in. There we go. And then give that a nice burnish like that, and just kind of folding it in, pressing it together. And then the same on this side. I'm going to get my tear and tape off. Pull that off. And again, just kind of holding this against the score line. If I could see where that score line is. And fold folding it up on itself. And then I'll just take and get my hand in there. You could take your bone folder and do it as well. Now, I didn't, and I probably should have. I'm going to take some glue dots and do this because I didn't adhere this top flap down, and I probably should have. But I'm just going to take a glue dot, and we'll put it here on where it's clearly should have had some adhesive underneath it. Kind of an unusual, this is soft sea foam, and it's really pretty, very subtle. So we'll brighten it up with some red ribbon for the handle, and I'm going to make a label. All right, so there's some glue dots to hold that down. Got one on my fingernail. Hey, Carol, welcome. Okay, now the next thing you need is a hole punch, because we're going to punch a couple of holes on each side for the ribbon. So I'm just going to do it. I'm going to use my grid line to roughly, let's see, it's 11 inches wide. So the middle would be 6.5. So maybe I'm going to do it, let's see, 2 inches from each side. And that just helps me get it roughly in the right spot. So any hole punch will work. And so again, 2 inches. It's a little bit. I'm going through 2 pieces of designer series, or 2 layers of designer series paper. There we go. All right, then I've got some, this is the Real Red sheer ribbon. So I'm actually going to cut this in half. I don't know how many inches I've got here. Let's put my ribbon. Let's figure out how much ribbon I've got. Probably more than I need. I have 16. So I've got about 32 inches of ribbon for each side. I'm sure that's more than what I need, but we'll have extra long handles on here. So you're going to feed, if I can get that going, feed these through. On the little bag that I made, I just adhered the edges of the ribbon using some Stampin' Seal. But on this one, because I've got such a long piece of ribbon, I'm actually going to take it and feed it through and then just tie a little knot inside. So I've got it, and I will just pull it through, and then I'm going to just tie a knot like that on the inside. That'll go on the inside. And then I can trim those, and we'll do the same on this one. Again, this is probably longer ribbon than you actually need. You could get away with maybe 24 inches of ribbon, or even smaller than that if you didn't want such a long piece. Now, let's try and get these so that they're roughly the same length. So again, I'm just tying a little knot here. And then we'll feed this back. And I can trim those. Okay, so this is not too bad. All right, so that's the handles. You know, one's definitely longer than the other. I'll have to fuss with that. Pretty red ribbon. Okay, so let's make a tag for this now. So I have pulled out my scallop label topper punch, and I've taken 2 pieces of cardstock. So this is Evening Evergreen, and this is Soft Seafoam. These are cut just under 2 inches, and one's a little bit longer than the other. Let's at least get them the same. So these are just under, so 1 7/8 by 4 1/4, and we're just going to fit this into the top of it. If you have it any wider, it just makes it hard to fit in. So aren't these great? So if you don't have the TaylorMade tag dies, these tag topper punches are great. There are 2 different ones. So that gives me that. Now I should have kept some of that ribbon, but that's okay. I will. I've got some gold here. There's some gold. I'll use this. Okay, so I was going to do a little bit of stamping on it. I've got the Christmas to Remember stamp set, and I'm just going to stamp Mary on this soft seafoam one. Let's see, I'll start this as well. Okay. Like that. And then what else do I have? Somewhere I grabbed. So I've got some of these. These are the red rhinestones. And then I've got some of the gold holly leaves. So I thought I would just put some gold holly leaves on here. Like this. These are great. They're fabric leaves. So we'll just take a couple of these. Like this. Oh, out of glue dots. I can get some more. All right, and then some of these red rhinestones, and these can be the berries. I'll just put 3 berries on there. And now I'm going to just attach these two together using, I guess it'll have to be a dimensional since I'm out of glue dots. Instead of my table. Okay, so let's get these lined up. Just kind of stagger this a little bit like that so we get both the two colors showing. And then this is the Simply Elegant trim. So let's just take a piece of this, put through. If I had saved some of the red ribbon, I could have used some of the red ribbon, but that's okay. We'll use this. And now I can take and just tie this on to my bag. Let's see if I can just tie a knot like that. Oops. The downside of this gold trim is it doesn't stay tight, and so you might find it loosens up, but you could also put a glue dot on. In fact, I think what I'm going to do is just use a dimensional and attach this onto the card or onto the bag itself, and that way it won't drag down and cause it to come off or come loose. There we go. All right. So there you go. That's the bag made from 12 by 12 designer series paper. Really pretty, I think. I could have done some stamping on the tag and made that a little fancier, but you get the idea of how to make a tag using the tag topper punch. Again, where's my little bag that I made? So this was the bag. This is made from the 6x6 cardstock or 6x6 designer series paper. This is the tidings and trimmings. And so then you can see that the bag that is made from the 12 by 12 is actually 9 inches. So we'll fit, a box of chocolates or something. This one is great for decoration, or I think I'm going to put some chocolate in it and a hand sanitizer and put them at for the Christmas table. All right, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you play around with that, and great idea for Christmas or any occasion, a birthday, if you needed to make a bag for a present and then make a tag or a card that matches. Hope you enjoyed that. I will be a little disjointed this week. I've got some family things going on, so I won't be live with my card sketch on Tuesday night. And I won't be live in my group, my Facebook group, with the Mystery Challenge on Thursday night, but I will be back next Saturday at 11 a.m. Pacific with another project for you. So I hope you'll join me then. If you have any questions, if you were trying to make the bag and you have questions, just leave a comment underneath either my Facebook group or page or YouTube, depending on where you're watching from, and I'll make sure that I answer your questions. Thanks everybody for joining me. Happy stamping. Bye.